distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Your Excellency Chancellor, Sir, it is a great honor and distinct privilege to welcome you to the inaugural graduation of the National Intelligence and Research University. Your Excellency Chancellor, Sir, we are privileged to have you grace this historic occasion. Today marks a major milestone in our university. That's our first graduation. I would like to take this earliest opportunity to congratulate the class of 2026. You are our pioneers, and you have helped define what NIRU stands for. That is excellence in intelligent education and research. You are our vanguard on which future generations will build on, and we are immensely proud of you. Chancellor, Sir, allow me to share a few highlights of the journey of the National Intelligence and Research University. Today, graduation of 31 students, 17 of whom are drawn from other 6 East African countries, comes just over a year after the award of Charter on 5th November 2024, and 4 years after it was granted a university college status under the National Defense University of Kenya. The award of the Charter was a pivotal moment for the National Intelligence and Research University. It did not only mark a transition to a fully fledged university, but with a mandate of empowering intelligence community with innovative education and cutting-edge research, but also a reflection of the excellent mentorship and nurturing by the National Defense University of Kenya. To this, Your Excellency, we remain grateful to the National Defense University of Kenya, which is represented in this convocation ceremony by the Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Tarus. Chancellor, Sir, the university has made major strides in its academic programs, student population, and research. The university currently offers 4 master's programs in intelligence, policy, technology, and communication studies. NIRU is also in the process of seeking accreditation for a doctorate program in security and strategic studies, and 3 other master's programs in leadership and strategic studies, leadership and national security, counterterrorism and strategic studies, biosecurity and biosafety. This, Your Excellency, is in addition to the executive programs in the niche area of security and strategic leadership. NIRU has also witnessed significant growth in student population, which has more than tripled since the award of Charter in 2024. In the 2025-26 academic year, Your Excellency, the university admitted 66 students from 22 African countries. In 2026-2027 academic year, the university plans to admit another 100 students from 32 African countries. This admission and expansion within the African continent, Your Excellency, is in line with your directive during the award of the Charter that the university expand its outreach to Africa and the global South. Chancellor, Sir, research and innovation are at the core of NIRU's strategic mandate as reflected in our strategic plan 2024-2025. Already the university has taken steps in this direction as demonstrated by the ongoing Artificial Intelligence Hackathon. The hackathon seeks to leverage artificial intelligence to address contemporary security and development issues. Additionally, Your Excellency, NIRU is in the process of establishing a research and innovation bank to translate academic research into practical solutions, thus fostering innovation and technology transfer. Chancellor, Sir, NIRU is keen to forge strategic partnership and collaboration as we position ourselves in the academic and research space. The university has so far entered into several strategic partnerships within Kenya Africa and beyond. Among them, the National Defense University of Kenya, the Open University of Kenya, the Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, Kenya Medical Research Institute, George Mason University in the United States, Pretoria University, Stellenbosch University, and Stellenbosch University, among others. Your Excellency, Chancellor Sir, I'm glad to inform you that the Vice Chancellors of some of these universities are present in this convocation. Through these strategic partners, Your Excellency, NIRU seeks to continually improve the quality of its faculty, technical and administrative staff, as well as students. These milestones could not have been achieved without your strategic leaders, your strategic advice, Chancellor Sir, and the support of the chairperson of NIRU Board of Trustees, as well as the governance institutions or organs of the university. Foremost is the University Council, as well as the Ministry of Education, the State Department of Science, Research and Innovation, and the Commission of University. Forward, Your Excellency, we remain steadfast in our commitment to our vision and fulfillment of our mandate as a specialized institution of strategic national importance. To esteemed graduates, today's graduation theme, Preparing Leaders for a Complex World, after 2 years in NIRU. You have been trained, nurtured, prepared to operate in this unique operating environment. We are confident that you have acquired the knowledge to navigate the complex world, and we challenge you to uphold the values and ideals of your alma mater. Step out boldly, never forgetting that every achievement begins with one determined or bold step. I wish you all the best for today's achievement. Chancellor Sir, in line with the National Intelligence and Research University Statute 38(6), after your address to the Assembly, the first convocation of the university will stand dissolved. Your Excellency, Chancellor Sir, it's now my honor to invite the Chairperson, NIRU Board of Trustees, Senior Counsel Nuruddin Haji, to make his remarks and carry on with the program.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces and Chancellor of the National Intelligence and Research University. Honorable Julius Ogamba, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education. Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior and National Administration. Honorable Shadrach Mose, the Solicitor General of the Republic of Kenya. Professor Shaukat Abdurrazak, Principal Secretary for Science, Research and Innovation. Dr. Chris Kipto, Principal Secretary for the National Treasury and Economic Planning. Dr. Beatrice Muganda Inyangala, Permanent Secretary for Higher Education and Research. Honorable Nelson Koech, Chairperson, Parliamentary Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations. Senator Fatuma Dulo, Chairperson, Senate Committee on National Defense and Foreign Relations. Mr. Douglas Kanja, Inspector General of the National Police Service. Mr. Amin Mohammed, Director of Criminal Investigations. Mr. Gilbert Masengeli, Deputy Inspector General, APS. Mr. Abdi Ahmed Mahmoud, Secretary CEO, EACC, Lieutenant General Tarus, Vice Chancellor, NDU, Kenya, Secretary General of the Rwanda National Intelligence and Security Service, Honorable Amabel, the Director General of the State Intelligence Service of Gambia, Honorable Osman Sowe, the Director General of the Uganda External Security Organization, Ambassador Honorable Joseph Ochwet, representatives from partner intelligence services, representatives from partner national security agencies, distinguished members of the NIRU Board of Trustees and Council, former Director Generals of the National Intelligence Service, Major General Twalib Mbarak, former CEO EACC, Vice Chancellor of NIRU, other Vice Chancellors present today, distinguished guests, NIRU faculty, staff and graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is an honor to join you today during this historical ceremony that marks the first graduation of the newly chartered National Intelligence and Research University, NIRU. This occasion stands as a testament to the remarkable strides this institution has made since the award of its charter on 5th November 2025 by Your Excellency. Allow me, therefore, to express deep gratitude to Your Excellency for gracing us with your presence here today. Your attendance builds upon our previous engagement during the chartering of this university, which marked a significant investment in the security, stability, and intellectual sovereignty of our nation and our continent. At this juncture, Your Excellency, allow me to recognize the distinguished members of the Board of Trustees. And Your Excellency, please bear with us because this is the first inaugural graduation of the university. Some of us, I think, we are trying to present our thesis of why this university exists. And we are very honored, Your Excellency, that you've given us this privilege, despite the fact that we have a small graduating class of 31, Your Excellency. But it is the importance that you have placed in this institution, and we are really honored. Please bear with us if we take long to explain the reason behind this and the people behind this, Your Excellency. The distinguished members of the Board of Trustees who have helped bring this mission to fruition are Brigadier Retired Wilson Boynet, Ambassador Dr. Amina Mohammed, Mr. Jan Bonde Nielsen, Professor Makao Mutua, Mrs. Agnes Shikuku, who is the Deputy Director General, Mr. John Sambu, who is the Director of Analysis and Production, and Dr. Agnes Kirui, who is the Secretary to the Board. In addition, Your Excellency, I wish to acknowledge the members of the University Council, which comprises of Honorable Dorcas Odwor, the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya. She is not here today, but represented by the Solicitor General. Professor Shaukat Abdurazak, Principal Secretary for who represents the Ministry of Finance, Principal Secretary for the National Treasury and Economic Planning, Dr. Beatrice Muganda Inyangala, Principal Secretary for Higher Education and Research, who is with us, Major Retired Omar Marsa, who is the Chair of the Council, Mrs. Habiba Sebi, Director Administration, Mrs. Purity Masekonte, Director Training and Research, and Dr. Agnes Kirui, who represents the board. Indeed, Your Excellency, today's graduation reflects NIRU's deliberate commitment to cultivating shared wisdom across sectors, borders, and generations. As the African proverb reminds us, wisdom is not found in one head. Rather, it flourishes where experiences are shared and knowledge is pursued for common purpose. Your Excellency, since the award of the Charter in 2024, we have expanded our academic scope to offer master's programs in counterterrorism, leadership, as well as doctorate in strategic security studies. We have also adopted institutional instruments to guide recruitment, terms of service, and staff retention at NIRU, with the aim of ensuring competitiveness and quality education nationally, regionally, and globally. In this regard, we have already witnessed our students becoming better equipped to confront emerging challenges. This has been further enriched by the inclusion of international students to the class of 2026, which comprises of representatives from Burundi, Malawi, Mozambique, Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, and finally our very own students from Kenya. Equally significant, Your Excellency, is the Intake 4, now in its first year of study, which comprises students from 21 African countries, with NIRU student population now nearing 100 within 1 year. This growth demonstrates the university accelerating continental reach and growing academic appeal. And hopefully in the next graduation, Your Excellency, the numbers are going to grow. Your Excellency, the trajectory NIRU has taken is fully aligned with your directives at the award of the Charter. Particularly, your call to strengthen intra-African collaboration in the security realm and to expand Global South capabilities through advanced education and research. The diversity and dynamism reflected in our student body today stands as clear evidence that this vision is already taking root. This year, Your Excellency, NIRU intends to extend its footprint further by admitting students from at least 32 African countries. This expansion reflects our unwavering commitment to fully realize our Pan-African vision and mission. In further pursuit of its mandate, the university is undertaking several transformative initiatives. These include the expansion of our physical infrastructure as exemplified by the Loresho campus, where we gather today, which is designed to accommodate our growing faculty, students, and research ambitions. We are also establishing a dedicated language center and developing a science and innovation center to strengthen interdisciplinary excellence. This reflects our determination to place science, innovation, and technology at the heart of our institutional growth in line with our 2024-2029 strategic plan, which affirms our belief that the future of security lies in innovation. Indeed, Africa confronts threats marked by a high degree of randomness, ushering in an era of polycrisis where traditional security threats coexist alongside emerging and often invisible risks. This reality, Your Excellency, compels Africa to develop its homegrown and adaptable solutions. It is within this context that NIRU is advancing an Afrocentric approach to intelligence and national security education that situates our scholarship within Africa's historical realities, strategic priorities, and uncertain future aspiration. Such an approach enables us to address threats that erode state legitimacy, weaken public trust, and undermine governance institutions. This range from transnational crime and cyber vulnerabilities to the weaponization of information through disinformation and misinformation, as well as climate change and pandemics. At the same time, Africa must navigate shifting global dynamics characterized by declining multilateralism. The implication is clear, Your Excellency. We must assume full responsibility for our security, our development, and the resilience of our institutions. Outsourcing this priority is no longer viable, if it ever truly was. Only by pulling together as African nations can we overcome the challenges before us. Concurrently, our continent stands at the center of renewed great power competition, particularly around strategic minerals, critical supply chains, and emerging technologies. The central question before us, Your Excellency, therefore, is how does Africa build a security architecture that enhances collective bargaining power, protects sovereign interests, and promotes cooperation rather than fragmentation? Intelligence and national security leaders are essential to this endeavor. Through shared strategic assessments, trust-based networks, joint education and research, Africa policy makers can anticipate risk, manage competition, and act together. NIRU thus stands at the forefront of building this foundation. By shaping the next cadre of intelligence and national security leaders, the university is contributing to the emergence of an African shield, a resilient, cooperative security architecture against evolving security threats. The network formed here will therefore transcend national boundaries and outlast political administrations, strengthening continuity and trust across the continent. This is especially significant given that historical engagement between African intelligence and security agencies often had to be facilitated through Western powers. Such arrangements limited direct collaboration and reinforced structural dependency. And Your Excellency, if I wanted to talk to the DG of Gambia, who was very far, the farthest end of West Africa, I would have to probably look for another Western power to organize that for us. We are saying this is no longer the case, and with such institutions, we are going to build great and better networks that will allow us to coordinate and act swiftly as Africans. As I conclude, Your Excellency, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and University Management, I wish to convey a profound appreciation for your wise counsel, strategic guidance, and steadfast support. Your consistent engagement and emphasis on education reflects your conviction that it is the surest investment in a nation's future strength. To the Cabinet Secretary for Education and the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, the steadfast support and encouragement of your respective ministries have been instrumental in nurturing this institution and steering it to excellence. Distinguished Director Generals from the Gambia, Mr. Osman Sowe, from Rwanda, Mr. Amebel, and from Uganda, Ambassador Ochwet, as well as representatives of Intelligence Service of Burundi, Malawi, Mozambique, Tanzania, and the Internal Security Organization of Uganda, your presence here today affirms the confidence you have placed in this institution and reinforces Africa's security architecture. We look forward to hosting more of your officers to train alongside us. Their presence enriches our classrooms and deepens our continental bonds and understanding. I also wish to thank the Board of Trustees, the NIRU Council, the Vice Chancellor, faculty and staff of NIRU. You're the backbone of this organization. This achievement is because of your diligence, professionalism, and unwavering dedication. To the families and friends of our graduates, we thank you. Your support has been the quiet force behind this achievement. And now, to the graduates, you enter a profession where integrity is not optional, it is foundational. The threats you confront will evolve in complexity and scale. The moral choices you face will test your character. I urge you to stand firm, to operate within the rule of law, and to remain loyal to the people you serve. As you cross this threshold, you do so not merely as graduates, but as custodians of trust and guardians of Africa's destiny. The future of our continent will not be shaped by chance, but by principled leaders who choose duty over comfort and nation over self. May you be counted among them. Congratulations. It is now my honor to invite the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, to deliver his remarks. Thereafter, I will invite the Honorable Julius Ogambo, Cabinet Secretary for Education, and finally, it will be my distinct privilege to invite His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, and Chancellor of the National Intelligence and Research University. Welcome, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen.
Your Excellency, President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, who is the Chancellor of NIRU, my colleague, CS Education, Migos Ogamba, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of NIRU, and the Director General of National Intelligence Service, Mr. Senior Counsel Nordin Haji, other distinguished guests as established in the protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First, let me say that this day is for His Excellency the President, so I will make sure that my remarks are very, very brief. Ordinarily, this is a very unique graduation for me, Your Excellency, to attend. Ordinarily, graduations are filled with fanfare, women screaming and cheering, and a lot of flowers being sold around the gate. And so this is a very unique one. There is a lot of silence. And this reflects this intelligence community. Your Excellency, they say a friend of mine went to meet an intelligence officer, a senior officer, I don't want to be in trouble, some time back. And when he came back, so I asked him, what did you discuss? He told me that he was nodding throughout. He was nodding throughout, so he can't remember exactly what they said, listening more than saying much. Your Excellency, when we came in, I had a small discussion at the waiting room. I was very concerned because of the motorboard that I was given, this cap, because I saw other people were wearing a round one, which looks like yours, Your Excellency, but mine I was given a square one, and I was very concerned until I realized the round one was for only those who have attained their PhD. So I asked Mr. Wakamba, even you are in the same situation. Then I advised him that since he's the Minister of Education, and he has been preaching all over about recognition of prior learning, he needs to create something for recognition of what he does, so that in the next graduation he can wear something at least better than mine. So, Your Excellency, we are happy to be here. I want to congratulate the graduates for attaining their master's degrees. I want to also congratulate this institution, NIRU, and congratulate you, Your Excellency, because you are the one who gave it a charter. It definitely reflects on your belief, the fact that you are a very highly educated president in this republic. It also reflects on your personal belief on research and development. And you have gone a notch higher to establish also a State Department for Research and Development. And you believe that knowledge is extremely important in terms of decision making. I must emphasize, Your Excellency, that we have benefited in the security sector immensely from the knowledge and the intelligence reports that come from the National Intelligence Service. And it's important to note here that the information we get is based on in investment in terms of education and research. And it is important to note here that this university is going to produce men and women who are going to become assets to our country, but also in the continent. We grapple with challenges of transnational crime, including crimes such as terrorism, banditry. We have also national challenges like gangs, among others. And Your Excellency, having a properly trained intelligence service is very important for us to ensure that we have intelligence-led operations and also intelligence-led response in the security sector. We have seen the tremendous success that we have achieved in our country, whether it is the operations that is around our borders or also in dealing with matters of banditry. Intelligence-led operations have led to great success. And we are celebrating just 1 year down the line a possibility of collecting over 1,300 guns from bandits because of the support that we have received and the research that has been done by the intelligence sector, Your Excellency. In the past, security operations was very indiscriminate and hurt women, children, old people, innocent persons. And sometimes when you are told that there was a police operation in a particular area, communities knew that they were coming to beat everybody indiscriminately. But now we have more targeted intelligence-led operations taking place in our country because of the capacity and the ability of our National Intelligence Service. And we support this university, Your Excellency, and we believe that it should be expanded to accommodate other sectors, including officers that serve outside the intelligence sector, so that we can have a more multi-agency approach towards security operations. Your Excellency, I want to congratulate the graduates, and I believe that this spirit of bringing together all Africans in one class is taking us back to where we were as Africans. For example, in East Africa community, most of our founding fathers and mothers of our nations studied together, whether it was in Makerere or it was in Dar es Salaam University. And it became, their networks became extremely important when it came to nation building and in terms of exchange of ideas and building an East African community. And so if we have to build a better and stronger African Union, this is the way to go, is to have students from other countries coming to Kenya, and to have also students from Kenya going to study in other countries to foster regional and international cooperation. Your Excellency, with those many remarks, let me congratulate this institution and congratulate the students and wish them the very best. I thank you.
Your Excellency, just to clarify, we do have graduating students from KWS, National Police Service, and the Kenya Forestry. And in the other classes, we have more people from other departments. It is now my honor to invite the Honorable Julius Ogambo, Cabinet Secretary for Education, to make his remarks.
Our square outfit, in view of what Murkomen has just said. Everybody here perhaps is educated, but the rest of us are learned. Together with the Director General, Senior Council of the National Intelligence Service, the Vice Chancellor of the National Intelligence and Research University, Your Excellency, allow me to ride on the protocols already established. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Chancellor, sir, it gives me immense pleasure to join you here today for this very first graduation ceremony of the National Intelligence and Research University. Firstly, I wish to congratulate the university for this great stride just a year after the award of charter. As a ministry, Your Excellency, we are more than proud that this university has successfully taken its place in the family of universities and higher education in this country. This achievement would not have been possible without the support and visionary leadership of His Excellency the President, who is also the Chancellor of this university. Your Excellency's unwavering support and strategic guidance have enabled this institution to make major leaps towards and forward in the shortest possible time. Your Excellency, as a ministry, we are proud that through these academic programs, this university has lived true to its charter by focusing on its niche area of intelligence education and applied research. And as you continue telling us, no country can proceed or can develop beyond its knowledge. This is a unique area in our higher education ecosystem that is designed to build the human capital that our intelligence community and the security sector require. Indeed, the theme of today's graduation, which is preparing strategic leaders for a complex world, aligns to the uniqueness of this university's mandate and speaks to the emerging global security dynamics in a world driven by transformative changes in technology and other contemporary developments. It is critical that our intelligence community, therefore, is prepared to live up to the demands of our time. Your Excellency, as I conclude, may I take this opportunity to assure this university, and indeed the university subsector, that we will continue to work towards a more enabling legal and policy environment in this country to support our higher education sector. Indeed, Your Excellency, under your leadership, the Cabinet has recently passed several reform bills which are being forwarded to Parliament to strengthen the legal framework governing the education sector. These bills, once passed, will go a long way into building the foundation for a globally competitive education sector in this country and in this region. Your Excellency, thank you very much and congratulations to the class of 2026. God bless you all.
Your Excellency, I wish to apologize. The name of the Cabinet Secretary is Honorable Julius Ogamba, not Ogambo. It is now my distinct pleasure and honor to invite Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, and Chancellor of the National Intelligence and Research University, to make your remarks, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. Thank you very much, Director General Nurdin, who is also the Chairman of Council of this great institution. Distinguished guests, faculty, staff, graduates of the National Intelligence and Research University, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me first to assist my two cabinet ministers here as a former Minister for Higher Education. The suggestion by Kipchumba Murkomen that you can change your status using RPL or recognition of prior learning, Mr. Ogamba, is misleading. It is not possible for you to get a PhD using that route. You will not succeed. And also to state that it doesn't matter how much redemption you try in matters of being learned or learned. There are no shortcuts. You just have to go through the motions. And next time, I advise that you do what you have to do so that you can wear the right attire. However, on November 5th, 2024, I formally awarded a charter to the National Intelligence Research University, establishing it as Kenya's foremost specialized university to build the capacity of our intelligence community as a key national asset for posterity. At the time, I affirmed the government's firm support for this university to meet its mandate and issued a clear directive to a new phrase of African solutions to national and global problems. Because indeed, we have the capacity to achieve it. The theme of this graduation, preparing strategic leaders for a complex world, aptly captures the realities of security challenges confronting Africa and the wider world. African peace and security architecture, which calls for an enhanced intelligence sharing, coordination, and cooperation across member states. Key to this approach is proactiveness in addressing complex security threats that have consistently held back progress in our continent. We have just come from the Africa Union this weekend. And I did present so that we can be able to achieve the prosperity interdisciplinary and policy-oriented scholarship. This university will continue to build the capacity for intelligence professionals very well and equip them to assist Africa in navigating a complex security environment that we face. Ladies and gentlemen, our continent is uniquely endowed with intellectual capital, lived experience, and contextual insights necessary to develop sustainable homegrown solutions. Universities like this one are vital incubators of this capacity, grounded in African realities, enhanced by global best practices, and focused on strengthening African sovereignty and resilience. This quest to enhance African sovereignty and resilience aligns closely with Kenya's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, which places people, knowledge, and innovation at the center of national progress. Education, research, and innovation remain powerful drivers of inclusive growth, strong institutions, and strategic competitiveness in an increasingly interconnected world. With regard to research and innovation, I wish to emphasize the government's continued commitment to this vital sector and why we established the State Department for Science, Research, and Innovation to spearhead our national priorities. I am of the firm belief, and I have said this many times, I am of this very strong belief that no nation or society can progress or develop or transform beyond its capacity to think. And that is why knowledge, education, training, research is at the heart of our transformation. It is the reason we have undertaken in the last 3 years the most consequential transformation of our education system. We have not only straightened the competence-based training into competence-based education, We have reformed our funding model so that it is student-centered. We have expanded space in our classrooms, and we have made sure that there are enough teachers and tutors in our education sector. We have increased our education budget in the last 3 years from 500 billion to 700 billion this year. And in the next budget, we're going to move it to 765 billion. Why? Because education is important. It is the single most important asset that we can use to sharpen our human capital. Even at the moment as we undertake our privatization process, I have given clear instructions to the Ministry of Finance that part of those proceeds will go to all the areas we have mentioned, but some percentage must go to the research fund, so that our universities, including this university, can apply for resources so that we can build and create new knowledge for us to be able to transition our country to a first world country. In addition, I would like to draw your attention to the Kenya Research Financing and Capacity Strengthening Master Plan 2026 to 2036, which provides a clear roadmap for closing the research financing gap. The plan envisions scaling up national investment in research and development to 2% of our GDP as envisioned in the Science, Technology and Innovation Act of 2013. A critical step towards sustained national development. Ladies and gentlemen, looking forward, I challenge this university to remain intellectually ambitious and future-oriented by continuously developing cutting-edge programs that are responsive to Africa's development imperatives and the realities of the world we live in today. To our graduating class, you join the ranks of Africa's next generation of strategic leaders. Your academic achievements confer not only credentials, but also a solemn charge to serve with integrity, strategic foresight, and a steadfast commitment to the public good. Whether your future unfolds here in Kenya, across the continent, or on the global stage, you carry the responsibility to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, ethical intelligence practice, and respect for the rule of law. I want to say this in conclusion, that as we set our eyes into the future, we have made a conscious decision as a nation that we are going to build a firm foundation for us to transition this nation, this great nation, to a first world economy. And we have done well in setting the foundation. We have consolidated and stabilized our economy. The numbers speak about it. Our inflation, our exchange rate, and all the other numbers. Institutions speak to it, credit rating agencies, and everybody in between. We have undertaken the most consequential reform of our education sector. because it's necessary. We have undertaken transformation of our agricultural sector. The numbers in our food security, in our exports of tea, coffee, horticulture, confirm. We have undertaken the most robust reform of our health sector. The numbers again confirm that the transformation is real. And we have expanded opportunities for young people in this country, whether it is in our physical development of infrastructure, in roads, in housing, in markets, in hostels, or in the digital space, or in creating opportunities outside Kenya, or in opportunities we have created in business. So we have set a very firm foundation. But that is not enough. That is why we have set for ourselves a new trajectory. And it is good for me to speak about this in front of intellectuals, so that as we drive into the future, we can all move together. We have set ourselves that we need, for us to move Kenya to the next level, we need to generate more energy. 10,000 megawatts to be exact, over the next 7 years. We need to build more infrastructure, expand the road network by about 28,000 new kilometers of tarmac, extend the railway to Uganda onto DRC, build a new airport, expand that infrastructure space sufficiently for us to undertake the kind of transformation that will move our country to the next level. And we have also undertaken that we are going to transform our agriculture. Because of climate change, it is no longer tenable for us to depend on rain-fed agriculture. Therefore, water harvesting, water storage, irrigation is going to be our next frontier. And for us to be able to undertake that heavy lifting, building on the firm foundation we have already set for ourselves, 3 enablers are also important. The security of our nation, the security of our infrastructure, the security of our people is of importance. The development of high-quality human capital with a capacity to create new knowledge, with a capacity to create new ideas. Because as I have said, no nation, no society can develop or make progress beyond its capacity to think. And finally, it is important for us to believe in God, to believe in ourselves, and to believe in our nation. If you have a problem believing in your nation, don't look for somebody to blame. Go to the mirror. That is the person to blame. We all have a responsibility for the good and for the progress of our nation. This university, the National Intelligence Research University, have a role to play in what I have said. I have said the security of the nation is a critical enabler for our transformation. Intelligence has a role in security. the believe in ourselves and not succumb to social media narratives and fake news and misinformation and disinformation and everything in between that undermines public trust, that undermines the belief in our nation. You have a role to play. And finally, the development of high-level professional human capital. That is the essence of the establishment of any university, but more particularly the National Intelligence and Research University. To the class of 2026, congratulations. My very, very best wishes as you walk out of this university, and I wish you well in your careers as you do the best for your nations. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Let us all remain standing as we conclude with the national anthem, after which we shall be guided on the exit procession by Dr. Mumbua. But first, the anthem.